Hey there, welcome to Saturday night. This is Cryptids and Conspiracies. And then there was one. Let me bring on the one. So here you go.
If it's no Scottish, it's crap!
Hello, everybody. Good evening. How's everyone doing? Oh wait, it's just us. How are you doing?
Yeah, just us.
Yeah.
Maybe Abby will pop on. I don't know. I
No
hope
idea.
he's doing all right. We haven't seen
Yeah.
Abby in a while, so
Yep.
it is what
That's
it is.
right.
But
That's right.
anyway,
That's right.
to compensate for our missing members, members being participants and not body parts.
No.
Anyway,
That's the way to say that came out wrong, didn't it, our members?
It did come out wrong. Yeah. As soon as I said it, I was like, okay, I need to clear that up. Anyway,
backtrack.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what member Wiki Fever is. I have my speculations, but anyway. Sorry, Wookie, you don't show up for show night. You get dragged. You get slacked off, man. Yeah. You knew this was going to happen. I hope your ears are burnt. Your big furry ears are burning wherever you are. But anyway.
Do we have our own little prophecy about that his lugs are burning?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out later on. Anyway. But anyway, he might rewatch. Sometimes he rewatches. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
But all right. Well, tonight, speaking of prophecies, a little bit fortuitous there. We are talking about Nostradamus, which is the Latin version of his actual name, which I don't care. Anyway.
Well, there you go.
All right, look it up. I had it open earlier. It's Pieter, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We always just use his Latin name, so what do I care, right? I look up research. I do enough research around here, right?
I mean,
all right, history. I'm sure
wouldn't it be simple if he was just called Jeff or something, or Bob?
Yes, seriously. Come on now. We just need American names around here, right? Okay, so Bob. His name is Michel de Nostradamus. So there you go. Yeah. But we Latinize it as Nostradamus. French astrologer, apothecarian, and physician, and reputed seer. So, best known for his book Les Propheties, that is published in 1555. A collection of 942 poetic quatrains allegedly predicting future events. So that is that's who we're talking about tonight. But so evidently, this dude here brought up that he was watching a video earlier, and I ripped it right quick. And so we're going to watch it right quick.
It might be crap. It might be crap. I don't know, but I don't know what you think about it. It might be a load of rubbish. But
okay.
Before you stick it on, I don't know if you'll see this, but shout out to my pal Mitchell who suggested this subject matter. It's his idea.
There you go. So we now have a name for his mysterious pal, who he's always Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Mitchell. Finally,
if he's watching, I don't know.
Yeah. There you go.
He'll be picking my brain about it on Monday, surely.
Oh, there you go. But when it comes to Nostradamus, the two prevailing theories is either he was seeing the future, or he was an expert at creating vague language that could be interpreted broadly enough that everything seemed to fit within it. But two theories we're working on tonight. Was he an actual prophet? That's the question. Nostradamus is a prophet? Question mark. We're either going to debunk that, we're either going to confirm it, or it's going to say that the truth is in the middle somewhere. I have a poll in my chat, but because Wookie is not participating tonight, he doesn't have a poll in his. So if you want to participate in the poll, you have to come over to the rabbit hole chat.
Right.
But, blame Wookie. We do. We do quite often.
Yeah, we pretty much just blame him for everything.
Well, mainly because he's responsible for everything most of the time. But we play the odds. We play the odds. But anyway, yeah. So this is according to this video, a missing prophecy that has to do with AI, and this is a prophecy that evidently Nostradamus took out of his
allegedly
for some reason.
It might be shit.
Allegedly. Yeah. Bear in mind, bear in mind, most of this is going to be speculation, and it's going to be. If you hate AI, sorry, there's a lot in this video. This is the first I've watched it, so I'm just doing it on, his recommendation. So, let's play it.
Just I happened to see it not long ago, so yeah.
So we'll blame him if it sucks. So
yeah. Exactly. Everybody blames me
go.
for everything anyway. So
hey, no, just add it to the pile. Just add it to the pile. Here we go.
I am Michel de Nostradamus, and before we begin, I want to thank each one of you who has watched my shorts here on this channel. Even for me, it is strange to cross centuries and find so many eyes still focused on what I wrote 500 years ago. To you, I offer my greeting, and also my warning. Among all the centuries I published, there is one prophecy I never wrote. The only one that I consciously decided to leave in silence. Perhaps because I myself feared the impact it would have on the centuries that came after me. Perhaps because I sensed it should only be revealed at the right time. And that time has now arrived. During my life, I was persecuted by kings, by the church, and by scholars who demanded answers that I could not give directly. That is why I hid my visions in metaphors, symbols, mirrors, and riddles. But there is something I could not hide. In certain moments, when the vision came, it was so clear, so absolute, so final, that it seemed to come from outside the human condition. It was in one of...
Okay, I'm done with that.
Okay. Well,
if you're going to pretend to be Nostradamus, if you're going to pretend to be Nostradamus, at least have a French accent.
That voice sounds somewhat familiar, but it's just one of those things.
No, it's an AI voice. He used an AI voice, so he could just as easily use a French accented AI voice. So that whole entire thing was AI.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
definitely.
Anyway,
but
whoever wrote the script, that was junk. That was junk.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The point was that it was kind of alluding to AI, a creation, a mind that was created by man. And the idea of at points not being able to determine what's real and what's not, etc., etc., etc.
And meanwhile, a completely computer-generated individual reading a completely computer-generated script is telling us about the possibility that we're not going to be able to trust their eyes because it's going to be artificial constructs.
Exactly.
So you just see the irony of that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I just thought it was interesting, based on what's coming, what's coming. It's interesting. Could you?
All right. Well, I didn't preview it, so
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it doesn't matter.
No problem. Go. Well, all right. I didn't preview it, but that was too much Uncanny Valley for me. It was making my skin crawl. I'm sorry.
No problem.
And the verisimilitude was just broken immediately by him sounding like a robotic New Jersey guy.
Right.
He sounded like a paisan. He didn't even sound like an old man. It's like I
am Nostradamus, and I'm from New Jersey.
20-something greaseball from the shore or something. We didn't have any accent. It was like Midwest accent, but anyway. All right, so I did, however, I did get most of my clips tonight from the Y Files. This is a episode from 2020. The Y Files is one of the OG shows on the paranormal and cryptids and conspiracies and stuff like that. And him and his pet goldfish have been doing this for a while. But he's always he has a staff for research, and so most of his videos are pretty well produced and pretty well backed up with with research and he usually has a list of links and stuff like that. So I like to use at least like to use sources like that, not sources like we just played. But anyway. Anyway, all right. I watched that stuff 2 minutes, and I'm like, or 2 seconds, and I'm like, click. All right,
nope.
All right. This is not. So anyway, so all right. So we're gonna start out with this. I broke up his predictions, several clips in his predictions, and then he doesn't do a bio till later on. But then he gives his conclusions. His conclusions are really, really good. That's why I want to use this video. Well, let's start out. First video. Here we go.
So, what else is coming our way? Well, has a Nostradamus prediction ever come true? Well, it's hard to name some significant global event that he has not predicted. And his predictions go all the way back to when he was still alive. Nostradamus may have accurately predicted the untimely demise of Henry II, King of France, who was only 40 when he died jousting in 1559.
The young lion will overcome the older one on the field of combat in a single battle. He will pierce his eyes through a golden cage. 2 wounds made one. Then he dies a cruel death.
Let's break down the prediction. The young lion will overcome the older one. Now, Henry was jousting Gabriel de Lorge, one of his young soldiers, when he was killed. They both had lions on their shields, and Henry actually wore armor shaped like a lion. How do we know? Well, Henry's armor is still around. Pierce his eyes through a golden cage. So during the joust, the young lion's lance shattered, driving splinters through the king's visor and into his eyes and skull, creating 2 wounds. And yes, the armor was gold. As for the cruel death, Henry was still conscious after his injury. He even got up and walked, though he was a mess. The king experienced seizures, partial paralysis, and despite having the best medical care available at the time, he died in agony of sepsis 11 days later. So creepy? Yeah. Uncanny? I think so. And with that prediction, the legend of Nostradamus was born. How about the Great Fire of London?
The blood of the just will commit a fault at London. Burnt through lightning of 23 the 6th. The ancient lady will fall from her high place. Several of the same sect will be killed.
Some interpret 23 the 6th as 66, or 20 times 3 plus 6. This is why it's believed to be a prophecy of the Great Fire of London in 1666, where thousands of people were killed. As for the same sect, Londoners blame the fire on Catholics. The ancient lady is thought to refer to London itself. Here's one about the French Revolution.
From the enslaved populace, songs, chants, and demands, while princes and lords are held captive in prisons, these will in the future, by headless idiots, be received as divine prayers.
When the Bastille was stormed in 1789, the French overthrew the monarchy and established a new republic. And the Third Estate, or commoners, aka the enslaved populace, declared nobles to be traitors. We all remember what happened to nobles during the French Revolution. They became headless idiots. Now let's get more current.
Was that Christopher Lee I just saw?
Christopher Lee. I don't know. It might have been. Yeah, I think it's a movie clip.
Do you know what the irony is there? Just kind of like segue a little bit. Christopher Lee witnessed the last ever guillotine execution in France, I believe.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I believe so. Yeah. And he was the one pulling the cord there in that clip.
Wow.
Irony.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Christopher Lee saw a lot in his life. My favorite Christopher Lee story is when Peter Jackson was trying when they did the sack of the Shire, which they later cut. Wormtongue stabs him in the back, and Saruman stabs Saruman in the back, and Peter Jackson wasn't, he was trying to give him notes on how to act like he was stabbed in the back, and Christopher Lee is like, "Dear boy, I know exactly what that looks like," and then Peter Jackson's like, "Okay."
You can just.
Says, I know what that looks like, You
can just hear his voice, can't you? Dear boy, I know it's. You know what I mean. You can just hear it.
Yeah. Dear boy,
anyway.
I know exactly what that looks like. Yeah, so Peter Jackson's like, yeah, that dude probably does know what that looks like, because he was with SAS at one point. Or
he was a badass.
James Bond was based a little bit on his service, so
he
was friends with Ian Fleming. Anyway, anyway, back to the subject. So basically, those predictions were pretty much put him on the map. The first one, the Henry, the second was the one that put him on the map, and it's one that people started listening to him and started, when he produced this book, they started becoming a bestseller, and he started getting some cultural power there. So what other predictions did he make? Let me click on this one.
So what else is coming our way? Well, Nostradamus predicted solar storms will take place, causing major damage to the Earth.
We shall see the water rising and the Earth falling under it.
Then, he predicts a comet or asteroid will hit the Earth or come very close to striking the planet. And this event will cause earthquakes and other natural disasters.
In the sky, one sees fire and a long trail of sparks.
Now, FYI, we did have some pretty close calls with asteroids the past year, and NASA's automated asteroid watching system called Sentry is currently tracking asteroid 2009 JF1. And JF1 is about 130 meters in diameter. It's about the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza. That would hit the Earth sometime in 2022. And if it does, the impact would measure about 230 kilotons. Now, for perspective, Hiroshima was only about 15 kilotons. So, yeah, JF1 is a city killer, or worse. And if things weren't bad enough in California, Nostradamus also predicts the state of California will be destroyed by a massive earthquake within the next year. Nostradamus predicted a great calamity that would shake through the New World in the lands of the West, causing it to fall into the ocean. This is thought to be California.
Mercury in Sagittarius, Saturn fading.
And the date when Mars and Saturn will be in those exact positions in the sky is Thanksgiving Day, November 25th, 2021. So if you're in California for Thanksgiving, don't fight over drumsticks. Fight over life rafts. You're going to be underwater.
Doesn't sound so bad.
And the last prediction is a doozy. 2 words. Zombie apocalypse.
It was just a matter of time.
Here's the text.
Few young people, half dead to give a start. Fathers and mothers, dead of infinite sorrows. Women in mourning. The pestilent she-monster, the great one to be no more.
Some believe this pestilent she-monster symbolizes a virus or biological weapon that will bring on the apocalypse. Should we be nervous? How accurate is Nostradamus? Well, some websites say he's been 70% accurate, and that's pretty good. So let's look at some of his more famous predictions that came true and learn more about the man. Then we can see if all those headlines are just social media clickbait, or
all the world to end.
Oh no.
Okay, there you go. Well, I mean, California's still there, so,
Yeah, I mean,
I wish Abby was here. I'm sure Abby would have some words on that one.
the idea of predicting earthquakes. The idea of predicting earthquakes in California is a doozy, because obviously you've got the San Andreas Fault there. So if that goes, that's a big deal. So Yeah, that's understandable. That's a very plausible one. And when did he,
right.
when
We'll talk
was
about.
when was it predicted? 2022, 2023? For 2022, 2023, something like
He
that?
said around 2021 Thanksgiving. I think he said Thanksgiving 2021.
I mean, are we going to quibble if the year is off a little bit at these things? I mean, it was like 600 years ago or something. So,
yeah.
I can maybe allow for a few years off, you know.
Well, unfortunately, California is still there, so you know.
I believe so. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh well. And on the other side of the fault is most of the problems of America. So you know, it is what it is. I think there's some hope that sometime in the future that that will be a reality, but it is what it is.
Right.
All right. Okay, we got a few more to get through here. All right, let's try this one.
Many believe Nostradamus predicted the rise of Hitler.
From the depths of the west of Europe, a young child will be born of poor people.
Hitler was born in Austria and came from a lower to middle class family.
Checks out.
He who by his tongue will seduce a great troop, his fame will increase towards the realm of the East.
Now, in his younger days, his military career was undistinguished. He didn't have money or influence, but he did know how to whip up a crowd with a speech.
Checks out.
Beasts ferocious with hunger will cross the rivers.
He conquered Europe in just a few years and always wanted more.
Checks out.
The greatest part of the battlefield will be against Hitler.
Now, that's just one letter off. It's pretty creepy. And greater part of the battlefield? Hitler fought and defeated much bigger armies during his rise. Now, how about the atomic bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
Within 2 cities, there will be scourges, the like of which was never seen.
There was never an attack like this before, or since.
Checks out.
Famine within plague, people put out by steel, crying to the great immortal God for relief.
And this is possibly about radiation sickness and the lasting pain of war. And people put out by steel could be the planes which dropped the bombs, or buildings collapsing, or the cities themselves. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were chosen as targets because they were industrial cities with a lot of factories. They created planes, tanks, cars, ships, all from steel. What about the assassination of JFK?
The ancient task will be completed from on high. Evil will fall on the great man.
Well, depending on who you ask, the order to assassinate JFK came from on high.
Yep.
A dead innocent will be accused of the deed.
Well, Lee Harvey Oswald was accused and killed. Was he innocent?
Obviously.
The guilty will remain in the mist.
If Lee Harvey Oswald was innocent, that means the guilty did remain.
They're still out there.
Let's get even more current.
Oh, that fish is cool.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things just get so like vague.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's just it's like you're kind of like just kind of like I don't know. It's like it can mean anything. You can kind of like put your own interpretation into it, you know.
Yeah,
it's a little hard to.
That is the only thing when things are kind of done in metaphors and riddles and stuff like that. It can be taken either way, or you could interpret it differently, and
right.
It's hard to say. And I know that obviously it was done allegedly, so that it wouldn't necessarily draw too much suspicion or heat on him. But it's also
when you look at
it's also a very convenient kind of thing that could possibly hire somebody who's speaking a load of shit. That's the only thing.
Well, I mean, when you look at biblical prophecies, how they work with the Old Testament into the New Testament, there's a specificity there. You can kind of like oh, that's what that meant, oh, that's what that meant, but there's like specific details that keep popping up. And in Revelations, we see stuff happening in Revelations, and it's like you're filling in the blanks with the Revelations, like the whole entire thing. There was like a whole entire section of Revelations talking about the like Israel as a nation. And before, it was reconstituted after World War II, people were kind of like, I don't know if Revelations is anywhere near being happening. And then suddenly, oh, we have a nation of Israel. Holy crap. And the way it happened was also predicted in a little bit in Revelations. And so it's just kind of like, okay, well, Nostradamus, though, when you look at Nostradamus's, prophecies, there's like a lot of generalities, a lot of general language. And then you're like, well, this could mean this. But with the genuine prophecies of the Bible, the ones that we know were fulfilled, there's always like, this is the only thing it could be.
Yeah.
And with Nostradamus, it's just like ballpark. It's ballpark, there's nothing like, oh, on the nose, on the net, and nailed it. He nailed it. I mean, that Henry II one was probably the closest he came to just absolutely nailing something.
Probably.
That sounds like it's all it could be, But anyway, got a little bit to go. Here we go.
Did Nostradamus see the 9/11 attacks?
2 steel birds will fall from the sky on the metropolis.
The steel birds have to be planes, and the metropolis,
New York checks out.
The sky will burn at 45 degrees.
and New York is 40 degrees latitude, but that's pretty close.
Fire approaches the great new city. Immediately, a huge scattered flame leaps up.
New York was a new city when Nostradamus was alive, and the fire and flames leaping up, yeah, that happened.
Within months, the undead will roam the earth.
That sounds like zombies. Now, obviously, there were no zombies after 9/11, but I'm from New York. Every day, as a New Yorker, we expected another attack. New Yorkers weren't actual zombies after 9/11, but we acted like them. How about the death of Princess Diana? Nostradamus has a lot to say about her.
The penultimate son of the man with the prophet's name will bring Diana to her day of rest.
In 1997, Diana tragically died in a car crash fleeing from paparazzi. Also killed was her boyfriend, Dodi Fayed, the second to last son, or penultimate son, of Mohammed al-Fayed. And Mohammed is indeed the name of a prophet.
They rose upon the middle of the world. Because of new deeds, public blood is shed.
Diana was England's rose, and her blood was definitely shed publicly. We all saw it. Her new deeds could be her love affair with Fayed, which irked the royals.
Lots of things irk them.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Then, at a time of need, the awaited one will come late.
Diana spent 2 hours injured and bleeding in the car before she was taken to the hospital. They were too late.
By the great number of tears shed from top to bottom and from the bottom to the very top.
All classes of people grieved her death, from the very rich down to the very poor.
A life is lost through a game with too much faith.
Diana was constantly hounded by the paparazzi, and her driver, Henri Paul, would often take them on high-speed chases. To him, it was a game, and she had faith in his game.
For the joyful maiden, the bright splendor will shine no more.
Indeed.
I was unaware of that one. So, yeah.
Yeah. But once again, a lot of generalities. I just a lot of vagaries. That.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like taking like self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. It's like, I'm going to have a bad year, and then you proceed to make every bad decision possible. And it's like, look how bad my year was. And it's like, dude, you sabotaged the crap out of yourself the whole entire year, and things like that. It's or you know, I mean,
yeah, you've basically jinxed yourself. Yeah.
right.
Jinxed yourself.
Well, I mean, the people that believe Nostradamus, I mean, they have all sorts of like, oh, this could mean this or this could mean this. You know, I mean,
Right.
I don't
of
know.
course.
I don't know. Well, let me play this. Now, who are we dealing with here? This is a little short bio on our friend Michel de Nostradamus. Here we go.
So who was this mythical figure? Well, here's his legendary story. Nostradamus was born Michel de Nostradamus in France in 1503, and he led an extraordinary life. A Jew who converted to Christianity, he inherited his abilities from the Israelite tribe of Issachar. He was educated by his grandfathers, who were doctors in the court of King René of Provence. Nostradamus went to Montpellier in 1521 to study medicine and was so successful that he stayed and became a respected teacher. Now, after his wife and 2 children died from the plague, he studied and then became an expert on the disease. He used advanced antiseptics. He recommended a diet low in fat with plenty of exercise. A noted astronomer, he deduced that the planets went around the sun even before Copernicus. Famous for his prophecies, he was persecuted during the Spanish Inquisition for heresy. He was even placed on the Vatican's Index of Forbidden Books in 1781. Nostradamus adopted a very public religious lifestyle to protect himself, but in private, he continued his mystical pursuits. Once, in Italy, he bowed before a young Franciscan friar for no apparent reason. Later, that young friar became the Pope.
He knew.
He knew. His books of prophecies, called the Centuries, are written in codes and anagrams. The books sold so well that Nostradamus became a celebrity in his own time. To assist him in writing his predictions, he used a bowl of water which he called a magic mirror. In fact, in Presage 141, Nostradamus predicted the date of his own death in 1567. He had himself buried upright so that nobody could walk in his grave. In fact, when his body was exhumed during the French Revolution, workers were amazed to find him wearing a medallion engraved with that very day's exact date.
Whoa!
Now that is a great story, and I've heard it my whole life, and you can read this all over the internet. It's perfect. The problem is, none of it's true.
What?
Well, yeah, that would be a problem if none of it's true.
Well, that seems to be the thing with him, though, is that so much of it is embellishment. You know, it's like people want things to be true more than things are. And did Nostradamus predict Wookiees' return at any point? No, I don't think they did. No, probably not.
I have no idea.
Wookiee will come back when his wife lets him come back. I'll say that. His lovely wife, who he is definitely, married over his head. So he's trying to keep her happy so she won't realize what a lunk she married. I can understand it. I can totally understand that.
We have to, on occasion, get back to Ken to taking a dig at Wookiee. That's just what happens when he doesn't show. So.
You don't show up, you get slagged on. Okay, you don't show up, you get slagged on.
You get roasted.
It's the rule. It's the rule. Okay. So anyway, if you want to come on, not Brian, the link is live. Anyway,
come on, do it.
Anyway,
I've got to throw that in there. I've got to do that.
Yeah. Poor Wookiee. Yes, poor Wookiee. Yeah. Poor Mrs. Wookiee. Bless her heart. Anyway, that's where our sympathies lie, if you haven't noticed. But anyway, so Mr. Y Files is going to give you a conclusion, and it's a doozy of a conclusion. So this is part 1 of the conclusion. This is why what he just told you is bunk. Here you go.
Now that we've covered the myths, let's look at the facts. Now, Michel de Nostradamus did lead an extraordinary life. but he was not a Jew who converted to Christianity. One of his grandfathers did, but he didn't. He inherited nothing special from the Issachar tribe. He had no grandfathers who were doctors in the royal court or anywhere. He didn't study medicine in Montpellier. He never went there. Definitely didn't teach there. Actually, during that time, he wandered the countryside from 1521 to 1529 and taught himself apothecary. His wife and 2 children did die from disease, but probably wasn't the plague. He didn't use antiseptics, because nobody did. And he didn't recommend a low-fat diet or exercise, though that's still a good idea. He made no discoveries about the solar system. And his only alleged contact with the Inquisition was an invitation to comment on metallurgy and bronze casting. Being on the Vatican's Index of Forbidden Books sounds pretty badass, but he wasn't on it. He was actually on good terms with the church, which is probably why he was invited to be a guest speaker at Inquisition Con or whatever that was. That kneeling before the young pope story? Pure fiction. Never happened. As far as his fame, Nostradamus' prophecies were virtually unknown during his lifetime, but he did gain some notoriety from writing cookbooks.
I'm sorry, did you say cookbooks?
Yep, cookbooks. You know, recipes for how to cook a nice piece of fish.
Rude.
He also wrote almanacs that sold pretty well, but they weren't very accurate. His prophecies were not called the centuries, they were called the prophecies. They were not written in code, they were in rhyming verse.
Oh, like Dr. Seuss?
Trying to get us canceled? Nostradamus did not use a bowl of water as his magic mirror. When he was writing his prophecies or composing his poems, he used a regular mirror. I'll leave it to you to determine whether it's magic or not. He missed the year of his death by 1, although some versions of his writing show the date was later changed, which probably doesn't count. He was not buried upright, and there's no record of any medallion or anything else with a date written anywhere. But the only well-known fact that's true about Nostradamus is that he was a fairly reputable plague doctor, though he admitted himself that he never found any cures or preventative measures that actually worked.
You're really deflating my balloon here.
I know, I felt the same way. Sorry about that. So, if the story about his life is mostly myth, what about his predictions? Can they be believed? Nostradamus remains famous over 400 years after his death for a 1555 book he wrote titled The Prophecies. The book is a collection of over 1,000 quatrains, which are 4-line rhyming verses, which are said to foretell the future. Now, depending on who you believe, Nostradamus has been credited with accurately predicting Hiroshima, Hitler, the space shuttle disaster, the Apollo moon landing, both world wars, the current pandemic, on and on, everything that ever happened, he called it. In fact, good luck finding some significant global event that Nostradamus was not said to have predicted. The truth is, nobody has ever used Nostradamus' writings to predict a future event, never one time, not ever once, never. So, why do so many people still believe? Well, for the same reason I wrote this episode, and for the same reason you clicked on it. It's fascinating and fun. Nostradamus is a great story, and we never let the facts get in the way of a great story.
There you go.
That is deflating, isn't it? Like, oh,
well, yeah, I assume so. He probably wrote a mean cookbook. You know, that's possible.
I don't know.
You know. I don't know.
Cooking.
Nope.
Nostradamus.
Okay.
Cooking with Nostradamus. There you go.
Well, if you want to vote on that, it's over the rabbit hole. I currently have like 3 people watching, I think, over there. So anyway, we like to be entertained. We do like to be entertained. But that is the truth. Nobody has ever looked at a Nostradamus prediction and like avoided something or said, this is going to happen. We need to change this now. Okay. You know, and even if that were to happen, how would you know that you succeeded? Because these things are so vague, it's really difficult to ascertain. You know, most of his stuff is like hindsight. Most of the predictions, the accurate predictions, are hindsight. You know, and you don't really know if a prediction is true until something happens. You know,
or it doesn't happen. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
or it doesn't happen. Right.
Yeah,
and so if it doesn't happen, how can you prove it? You know, how can you prove that that's the truth?
On one of the comments that was in one of the videos that I did watch, it was like saying, someone made this point of saying, well, if somebody predicts wars and famines and disease, welcome to the world. You know, it's not much of a prediction. But yeah,
No, exactly. He did have a conclusion as to why people want to believe in prophecy, and I think it's very good.
So what went wrong? Well, the problem with Nostradamus' predictions is how his writing is translated and then interpreted. He wrote in Middle French, and you really can't do a word-for-word translation into English or even modern French. When his writing is translated, there's a little poetic license required to fill in the gaps. And that's okay. There are certain translations of Dante's Divine Comedy, which was written in vulgar Italian, that are better than other translations. There is a certain creativity to it, but nobody's building bunkers based on Dante. And if you are, awesome. And Nostradamus was not really specific about anything. His verses are all symbolism and allegory. You can make any story fit if you want to. When Nostradamus talks about a great lady, does he mean a literal lady, or does he mean a country or a city? Well, it depends on what you want the end result of the prophecy to be. It's kind of like reverse engineering the prophecy. You know what event took place, now you just go back and make the prophecy fit. If you have to be a little creative, so be it. The most creative of Nostradamus' interpreters, and the one that I first read, was also an ardent believer. That was Erica Cheatham. She's best known for reinterpreting Nostradamus' reference to Hister as a reference to Hitler. But Hister was actually a part of the Danube River that Nostradamus knew quite well. And Cheatham adjusted her translations to suit the times. Occasionally she made future predictions, and when they didn't happen, she'd issue updates of her books with new names and new dates. First, Nostradamus was talking about Muammar Gaddafi, and later changed that to Ayatollah Khomeini, and then later changed it to Saddam Hussein. Now, whether this is dishonest or not is really how you view the subject matter. I think the stories are fascinating and absolutely worthy of study, but every prophecy has to be taken with a whole lot of salt. For instance, most of the quotes I used earlier are complete fiction, but I didn't make them up. I found every single one of them on a website claiming that Nostradamus wrote them. He didn't write them. All the 9/11 stuff about steel birds, Nostradamus wrote none of that. Those lines were added after the 9/11 attacks and just became part of the folklore. Even the quatrains about King Henry's death, you know the prophecy that made him famous? Turns out the young lion lines were added years later. Look, Michel de Nostradam really was a brilliant man who lived a remarkable life. That's true. He made important contributions to medicine and literature, but was he a prophet? I don't think so. But his predictions, they create clicks. Yeah, sorry about that. So why is it so easy to believe Nostradamus? Well, through the course of human history, every major event has been connected with some kind of prophecy. In 1000 AD, everyone thought the world was going to end. In 2000, same thing. We called it Y2K, but it was the same psychology. And remember the great Mayan calendar scare of 2012? Same psychology. People look for answers in prophecies because they suggest the disaster couldn't have been avoided. It is part of a larger plan. And there's comfort in that. The human mind is wired to create order from chaos, to see patterns and connections, even when none really exist, to be in control of our minds and our environment. All the anger you see right now among politicians, in the news, and definitely on social media, it comes from fear of losing control. A disease is spreading, the wrong people are in charge, your sports team lost. You may not have control of those situations, and that's stressful, and it makes you afraid, and it makes you angry. So what prophecies of Nostradamus do I believe? Well, none of them. Though if we all turn into zombies, you can tell me I told you so in the comments. But what I do believe in is the resilience of the human spirit. We've been through harder times than this, and we got through them. We did. Once you strip away our labels, we're just people, and we all have fear, and we all get angry, and that anger has driven us apart. And we don't need a prophet to tell us, this too shall pass. And when a disaster strikes, it's easier to get through it when people set aside their fear and work together. Easier said than done.
I can sum it up better than that.
Yeah,
I can sum it up better than that.
That's a reasonable conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, there you go, Bunny. A whole series of profitable videos using your version of Nostradamus. Easy peasy. There you go. Easy. Yeah. And I do like his endings. Yeah. Yeah, check out that Y Files. He's always a good channel to check out. He's very whoever does his writing does a very good job. I've been very impressed with his videos over the years. I do think that there is something to be said for I happen to be a Christian, and I do see a bigger hand at play, a hand at work here. And I don't really, my pastor's been doing a whole series, almost the whole entire year on Revelations, and I don't attend those services because I'm just like, unless there's some application to today. I've just never been a big. It's called eschatology. I've just never been a big eschatologist. I'd rather focus on what's going on now. But there's a whole huge movement right now called NAR, which is a New Apostolic Reformation, and those people claim to be prophets of God, and they'll do like. You'll find video after video of them doing like prophecies in their freaking cars on their lunch hour or something like that. And these people are wacky. They're so wacky. And yet they have thousands of... I could do it. I mean, I could do what they do if I just didn't have a... I'm not a Revelations guy. There you go. I get you. I get you.
Right,
I'm with you there, dude.
Well, it's kind of,
but
Revelations is kind of scary, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of revelations coming true, and as we go,
it looks that way. It looks that way. Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, there's some application there you can use, and I do. What little application is there? And I do appreciate that as a believer, that the ending of Revelations is encouraging, very encouraging as a believer. But this New Apostolic Reformation people, these people are crackpots, and they have thousands of followers that are leaning on their every word, expecting them to tell them what's coming next. And there's this show I watch called Fighting for the Faith, and he does this something called prophecy bingo. And because all of these prophets, quote, prophets, use the exact same lingo, they can just watch prophecy after prophecy after prophecy and have a bingo card.
Right.
And so like, they said this, they said that, and they're able to do actual prophecy, actually bingo on the prophecy. And at the end of it, if you get bingo, you get to give your own prophecy, and they're able to do like verbatim what sounds like one of these prophecies. So it's all bunk. This has been going on a long time. I mean, it's, Kenneth Copeland has got as a billionaire, off of this crap. And he just spews this stuff, and people eat it up.
Well, there was a Christian pastor I saw on YouTube had said that the problem with the times that we live in and the application of Revelations is that many people in the past would have attributed the times of tribulation, the World War II, it's like, oh crap, it's the end.
Yeah.
So there is that to take into consideration as well. I mean, it's coming, but just because something that happens tomorrow looks like it's part of Revelation doesn't mean that the end of the world is next week.
Well, if you can convince a whole bunch of people that the end of the world is coming, then things like Heaven's Gate happen. Things like what happened in French Guiana with everybody drinking Kool-Aid, People's Temple. You can, and a lot of basically it's around a charismatic leader, that tells them like, I know what's coming, I know what's next, and follow me, give me power over you, Jim Jones, right? But give me power over you, and I can tell you, I can lead you into the future. You don't have to worry about the future because I know the way. And if you're lost, if you feel lost and without a way out, and somebody says, "Follow me, I know the way out," you follow that person. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there is only one individual though who actually did know the way, and that's Jesus Christ. Depending on your belief system, it's my belief, Christianity. I believe that he knew the way, and
Right.
and
I
he
believe
showed the
I've heard
way.
of him. I believe I've heard of him.
And
yes.
everybody that followed his precepts and the things that he laid out.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think about all this? I'm kind of dominating the conversation. What do you think about all this?
About Nostradamus. Well, I'm not sure. I'm kind of befuddled now after those conclusions, to be honest. But I kind of think that it's entirely possible that Nostradamus and not just him, but other people as well, may have had the ability to understand the systems of power and understand people. So making these kind of predictions based upon things that people might do is not too far a stretch. There's an element of realism in that, but to accurately predict something, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. People do, like I said, there are people who understand the systems of power, the corrupting influence of power, leading to tyrants, and the fact that there are, like we said before, wars, famine, plagues, all that kind of stuff is kind of like part of the course for humanity. So I'm not sure if I would go as far as to say that he was a prophet, but someone that just kind of understood the world and life and people.
Well,
at the very least.
Yeah. Well, I have something that's it's a spiritual gift called Word of Knowledge. Okay. It's and I don't claim to be a prophet or whatever, but I do see a lot around how the world works. I do have blind spots, but there's times where I can see things with crystal clarity and call them, months and maybe even years ahead. And then when they come true, it's just like it just makes me feel like, no, it never makes me feel that. It never makes me feel that. Well, what it makes me feel is it just makes me feel tired.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot, that was right.
It's almost like you can see it coming up. For instance, there's a couple things that happen. I got a car. It was the first Subaru I ever owned, and I loved that car. Okay, the day I got it, it was like, okay, I'm a Subaru guy for life.
A Subi, right? A Subi.
I don't currently drive one, but up to recently I did. But which I loved. I loved the way it looked. I loved the way it sat. I loved the paint on it. I loved everything about that car. And but every time I would look at it, there would be something in me that said, I'm not going to have it long. You enjoy it while you can. You're not going to have it long. And so one morning I'm going to work and I come over a hill and there's a car in my lane. And I didn't panic. I just thought immediately, oh, today's the day. Instead, that was immediately what hit through my head. I was like, oh, today's the day. And because I kind of anticipated it coming, I was able to turn the wheel at the last minute and make it a glancing blow instead of directly head on. And so in that case, and things like that, this has happened multiple times. My father had a little bit of it because, I believe I told you before they were killed in a car accident. What I didn't tell you. Yeah. But what I didn't tell you is they made the rounds before their death. They made like insurance arrangements. They made their rounds and told everybody goodbye.
Okay.
They even decided that her sister was going to take us, and they went on a vacation and left her sister and husband in charge of us for a week, kind of as a dry run. And so they did all this before their death. And I find out about it after the fact, that he had, and this was purely off of premonitions, purely off of him, knowing ahead of time. And so when it comes to, so I believe in I say that to say that I believe in prophecy because I've experienced it. Okay. I believe that prophecy does exist. And as such, I do believe that, I do believe in revelations, that revelations is a thing, that what has been predicted will happen. But the caveat I give is simply this, that while prophecy does happen, it's not predictive. And what I mean by that, hold on a second, let me get this comment. Things like it happen, which makes me know there are things about our existence that we don't understand, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I do believe in. That there is an omnipotent being at the center of the universe, and as a Christian, I'm kind of plugged into it, and so because he reveals to me occasionally things ahead of time. But at the same time, even if I do predict something ahead of time, and I have a video on this very channel of me saying this stuff, so this is not new stuff. I've been saying this for years. I've been telling these stories for years. And as a matter of fact, there's this Bunny Psychic is one video about this very thing. But what I'm saying is that I think that you're never going to get the kind of revelations that is going to avoid anything. The premonitions I get don't help me avoid anything. They help prepare me for things. And I honestly think that's how it works,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Given, and so I've actually given false, cold readings to people. I know how it works. I know how cold reading works, and I could, if I wanted to, I could do I could act like a prophet, and I can make money off of it. I could very easily do it because I know how it works. I don't do it because I also have a soul.
Right, yeah. It'd be wrong.
But at the same, yeah. But just as in, I when it comes to predictive phenomenon and things like that, I do think that at times people will get premonitions. People will be showed things ahead of time, and that I do think that people are prepared for situations ahead of time. And I do think that it does exist, and that is a thing. But these people who are basically ruling people's lives right now, saying that they're prophets, and people are living by Nostradamus's prophecies all these years later. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's like Kaltenberg said. That's not how the world works. It's not. And even you can extrapolate back to anybody. Well, somebody said this in such and such time, and this happened later. This is predictive. Yeah. Okay. Example. Before the Titanic went down, a man wrote a novel about 12 years earlier called The Wreck of the Titan. It's called Futility, the wreck of the HMS Titan. Yeah. And it had the dimensions of the Titanic. It had where the Titanic went down. the ship struck an iceberg. It had almost the same crew complement of the Titanic, and they didn't have enough life rafts. And all the richest people in the world, intelligentsia, were on the HMS Titan. And this guy wrote this thing about 12 years before. But the thing about it is, and so people are like, oh, he predicted it. Oh my gosh, he predicted it. Except that there was people in the world at that time that were rich enough that the Titanic was built after the HMS Titan, Futility, the HMS Titan, the wreck of the HMS Titan was published years later. And so there were people rich enough that there was a certain person called J.P. Morgan that bought a shipping line before the Titanic was ever built, and built the Olympia and built the Titanic.
Yeah. And
so he had these dimensions in this book. He had the layout in this book, and he had exactly how this thing sunk in the book. Yeah, and so if you look, and so if you're going to make a honey pot to trap all the richest people in the world, he had a template in that book. And the guy who wrote the book,
as we covered on the Titanic video or show,
right?
And JP Morgan, if I remember correctly, was conveniently not on the Titanic.
Yes, he was booked to go on the Titanic, but he had a thing. He had a thing.
Oh,
yeah, he actually had a cabin custom built for him on the Titanic, but he had a thing.
Yeah,
he had a thing. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm just saying that. That I'm not saying that prophecy doesn't exist, because I believe that prophecy does exist, but I do think that it's not quantifiable. It's not staple, and it's not something that somebody can do all the time. And so I'm going to have to say, I don't think that Nostradamus was a prophet. I think people know what he said after the fact. So I'm going to have to say, for me, it's debunked. What say you, my friend?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I'm not going to say that he maybe didn't have the ability to kind of like see things, but as for being what would be considered a legitimate prophet, probably not. Yeah, so probably not.
Okay. All right, so you're going to say debunked?
Yeah, definitely looks like it.
Okay. All right. Let me bring up the my poll. So we got 100% debunked from two votes.
I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought we were all going to say, "Yep, he's true."
Oh, really?
That caught me off guard today. Wow.
So you're a believer in Nostradamus then?
Not anymore, apparently. I was, but it's just never ever seen so. Now that you see, when you see a lot of the vague aspect of the quadrants and stuff like that, and the easily applicable nature of these things, it's like, a bit too convenient. A bit too convenient if you could just apply them after the fact, kind of. So.
Well, there is like there is an illustration of somebody who said that they hit like a target in the barn, okay, and basically, what is the illustration? All right, so somebody that says that they hit the target, but basically they moved the target rather than shoot the target. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I think so.
And so technically they hit the target, but because they moved the target where the arrow was flying. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah,
it's kind of like that. That's the
illustration. They moved it to meet the trajectory, is what you're saying.
Right. And so at that point, it's like technically they hit the target, but it wasn't because of.
No,
it was because they moved the target.
Yeah, they would have missed
and so,
if it was in its original position. Probably.
Right. Yeah, I don't know where the other viewers are. They're mostly on X. I get suppressed all the time on YouTube, for whatever reason. So I don't sweat it.
Oh, you would drive yourself mad.
Change the facts to match the theory. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. There you go. Mic drop.
Well, like the one that I was talking about, pseudo legitimate, the Henry II, and then he says, well, years later they changed the details.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I mean, well, I think it's also has something to do with like the language translation between Middle French. If you look at like everybody was talking about, they got the 1611 King James version of the Bible. But the King James version of the Bible, 1611 version, was written in Gaelic English. Okay. You can't read Gaelic English. Okay? The language has changed so drastically. But when it comes to like translation, there's some like creative license that takes place. And so I think that probably plays a part in it too. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all right. Enjoy your dinner, my friend. We are concluding here anyway. But anyway, so any last thoughts on tonight?
Yes, I have a prophecy of my own.
Okay.
My pal is probably not going to be too. My pal is probably not going to be too thrilled with this result, and he's going to chew me out for it.
Oh no! Oh no! He's oh no! That's awful! That's no!
Yeah, I can hear him thumping around now.
Well, there's been multiple times I've gone into one of these shows thinking I knew where I lay, or knew where I was thinking. It was and I've had my just for the research or just from things I watched or things that we discussed, I've had my mind changed. That's why the show, is so important to me. It must, but it's not evidently not important to Wookie or Abby, but it's important to me, and it's important.
Yes,
to me, so,
yes, kids, we went there. We went there again.
Yep, we went there. We went there. Yeah, we said it. We said it anyway. So if next Saturday night I want to do a wrap up show of the previous all the streams that we've done since our last wrap up show, and
right,
and we discuss the future of the show. We're up to 70 episodes, and that's a really healthy number. And so if our other members are ready to walk away from it, then we'll that's might be a good place to wrap. I don't know.
Well,
or do something different. Do some different style of a show. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's just be trying
anyway.
To think of something. Try to think of something.
Because this is a lot. This is a it's just a lot of work. A lot of work to put in, and for the effort that I put in, and I have a very low rate watch count, and so
freeloaders like myself just show up for these things.
Well, you participate once you're here. And showing up.
Sometimes
matter.
I'm known. Sometimes I'm known to say a couple of things, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you do occasionally. You participate.
A couple of things. Yeah.
Anyway, but if people want this to continue, just contact me and let me know that you're enjoying the show, that you want it to continue. And, if just a few people are interested in it continuing, then I will definitely continue making the effort. But like I said, this is a lot of effort on me. And, I don't always feel the support from, other people and the participation from other people. And so you're not one of them, obviously, but it's just
really leave many other people, does it? So.
No, it doesn't. And so, I mean, you kind of like, if some things run their course, especially in streaming channels,
Well, I don't know.
The show might be reaching its end, and it might be a good place. Be a good place to wrap a bow on it.
Maybe.
So,
that's
anyway, so whoever shows up next Saturday night, go ahead.
That's the thing I was waiting to say. It's just like, everything kind of has its expiration date. It's no escaping that fact. It's just, we just have to see what happens, I guess. So.
Well, the direction a lot of people go is like in like the current events and chasing like current conspiracies and things like that, things that are still going on, things that are still clarifying themselves, and to do that is a dog chasing its own tail, and I don't want to become that, and I think that's why I think that's what the other two want, and that's not what I want. And so, it might be why they've kind of trailed off in their participation. I don't know, but it is what it is. I'm talking a little smack, but it is what it is. But yeah. So next, so I'm going to put forth the effort. Next, I'm going to watch the previous show and find out where that ended up, and then I'm going to We'll start from there and just cover the shows since, and we'll do a review of the shows that we've done since and our conclusions and whatever. And so, and maybe it's just time to wrap it up and call it a day. I think we've gotten 70 great episodes, 70 rewatchable episodes. I rewatch our stuff these shows all the time. And, I don't know.
Right. Well,
but anyway,
we'll just have to see what
so
happens.
I will say goodnight. I know it's already in the middle of the morning there.
Yeah, it's Sunday now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so, good night, my dear Scottish friend, and we will see you next time.
We will see you all, whoever's watching, on the next show.
Yeah. Follow the White Rabbit.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. Hold on.
I promise you, we're leaving.
The wrong button.
We're leaving. Don't you worry.
No, stay. Yeah, I'll. All right, I hit the right button. So we're going to end the stream now. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.